Hello and welcome back to my craft room. Well, I was just about to start another project when I got an unexpected, well, not totally unexpected, parcel come through the door. I know that this is from Bazaar because it's in one of their compostable mailers and it's got their special sticker on the front, so I know who it's from. And Joe at Bazaar had told me that they'd been busy packing up some more scrap packs and to watch for the posties, but I didn't know what to expect or when to expect it, so it's still a surprise. And I can feel that there are two of their amazing scrap bundles in here. Look. So I'm sure almost everybody watching this channel will have heard me raving about Bazaar before, but just in case you haven't, Bazaar are a UK based company, but they work over in India a lot. They've been working with local producers and artisans over there for many years now, so they don't just kind of order stuff in and sell it on. They go over there and source it and work with the people who live over there and live and work over there, and they supply everything from clothes to jewellery to home things. I love everything that they do, but my big passion is their scrap packs, scrap bundles, which are all textiles rescued from the Indian clothing industry. Every pack is different. There will be offcuts, things that have become damaged, or garments that have been miscut, all that kind of thing. So they're not uniform big pieces of fabric. They're odd, quirky, unexpected little treasures which I find really, really inspiring. And you get a mixture of mostly silks and cottons, but you also get bits of linen. You occasionally get velvet. You get brocades and things. They do a few limited edition bundles now, which have got really special things they've not shown before. I will link to my Bazaar playlist so you can have a look at other parcels I've opened before and some of the amazing projects that these pieces have inspired. So without further waffle on, let's get into this pack and see what's inside. I'm just going to get the envelope out of the way because that's got my address on it. I love that with these compostable mailers. Let's zoom in just a bit. Yeah, with these compostable mailers, I love that if you cut it along here, so it says you can reuse it for returns, but I would keep it and reuse it for sending things off to other people when I send out prizes and things like that. So if you cut carefully along this dotted line, there's another self-adhesive strip there so that you can easily use it again and again and again actually. And then once it's finished being used, it can be home composted, which is brilliant. So there's a card or a note or something here, and they don't use any plastic packaging in their online scrap packs now. They're all bundled, and they will come in these gorgeous recycled sari fabrics. I have got a beautiful collection of sari bags now, and I'm very, very tempted to put a whole lot of them together and make a really interesting top or dress or something. Although the bags are really handy for keeping fabrics and projects and things in as well. So shall we have a look at let's have a look at the card first. Oh, lovely. They do these lovely handmade cards which look like they've been made from little bits and pieces from the scrap packs actually, and it's something I've not done actually yet, but I should probably do that because it's a really fun idea. I love this. How beautiful. Anyway, let's have a look. So this is from Joe. So Joe's the owner of Bazaar. The whole team are just lovely. Team Bazaar. Ella makes up scrap bundles much more loosely than Tola, who makes very beautifully arranged ones. She's very tidy. I love that. They've got real personality, and each scrap bundle will be different. There are some of the limited edition ones will be more or less the same contents, but the normal scrap bundles, well, each one will be different, and each one has the personality of the person who made it up. So yeah, here you have one of each. Oh, that's interesting. Team Bazaar often compete with who makes the most beautiful ones. They're all beautiful. I think they're all beautiful. We wish you all happy creating. Oh, dear Annie, another shameless promotional gift parcel for you. I'm very happy. After your recent unravelling of our bijou scrap bundle, we now send you 2 more of our regular scrap bundles. We've been sending out the bijou bundle to new friends from your group, and I look forward to seeing what everyone makes. Your Facebook community are a very busy lot. They are indeed. Lots of love, Jo. I will of course put links to Bazaar. If you do order anything from Bazaar, don't forget to put Arty Farty Annie Treat in the little box. There's a little box that comes up at the checkout. It's written in very tiny words. You'll see promo code. It's not that, it's underneath that. It says something like add a note or note to seller or something like that. If you click on that, little window comes up and you can free text in there. If you put Arty Farty Annie Treat, you'll get a little extra doodadding with your order. Now, nothing specific, it depends on what they've got, what you've ordered and everything. They kind of go with their heart on that. And also bear in mind that yes, they will post. I'm going to come up here to say this because this is important. It comes, if I don't mention it, it always comes up. In fact, even when I do mention it, it still comes up. If you want to order and you are outside the UK, you still can, but don't go putting the order, trying to put the order through in the normal way on the website. You have to email them, let them know what you want. They'll let you know what postage will cost and they'll invoice you and you can take it from there. If you try to order in the normal way, you'll feel like you're putting your order on and right at the last minute the system will just tell you, no, we don't deliver to your area. So they've posted to US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. I think they were saying Brazil just recently. They post all over the place. So yeah, but you do need to email them. I bet I'll still get questions about that. I bet I'll still get someone in the comments saying, oh, it's a shame I can't order because I'm in the States. Oh, coming back down now. Okay, let's have a look. So I wonder which is which. I wonder if they've labelled which is which. Hang on, let me check. Is it Ella and Tola? I hope you're not going to ask me to choose which one is the best, because I won't be able to. Right. I think both look gorgeous, don't they? Well, there's a label on this one. Hang on, what's this one say? Pink. It just says pink. So they come in various colourways. I think there's pink, red, purple, green, blue, black, I think. Obviously you'll get different, they're prints and things, so they're not all going to be one uniform colour, but they'll be predominantly whatever colour it is you've chosen. So should we have a look at the pink one first? This one looks like it might be, initially I thought, oh, is that a black one? But it might be, I think it might be a green one. I have to say, in all the bundles I've had over all the years I've been having them, pink and green keep coming out as my favourites. I love how they come in these bundles now. Each scrap pack now, they're $16.50, these scrap packs. They guarantee that each one will have one of these gorgeous patchwork embroidered pieces in now, which is lovely. There are so many things you can do with these. If you're stuck for ideas, check out that playlist I mentioned. So they bundle them up like this and they tie them with a piece of cord. Again, this will have come from reclaimed waste stuff, so I just love that. And of course this will be carefully kept and reused. So that is pink. I'm going to take that label off now. Just love going. I've been most people who watch these videos really enjoy going through all this stuff. There have been the odd times where someone has said it's lovely to see them, but really, did you need to go on for 40 minutes? Did you need to yammer so much or whatever? But I have to enjoy. This is part of the fun for me, going through and seeing what's in here. Oh, look at this! Oh, I see some. Gets pimples about. I see some pieces I recognise and some which are completely new to me. Right, where to start? So here we go. This is a good example of. This is a pink set, but you can see there are other colours. This is more peachy. This is more red. But they will all coordinate beautifully with pink, and you've got a lovely range there. You've got other bright colours in here, bits of blue and things. Oh, okay. There's always a couple of, or two or three little sort of oddities and doodads kind of things. So in this case, we've got this, which looks like was part of perhaps a shell necklace or bracelet. Gorgeous, with these little, you've got a little glass bead there and little shells. That's beautiful. This is a cord that looks like it's been made of reused fabric of some kind. It's just some kind of a synthetic. You don't get much synthetic fabrics in here. It's usually, but it's the more kind of some of the sparkly shiny things will be. It's very unusual. Most of it is. It's what, and when it is, it's kind of what I call the nicer synthetic fabrics. But this looks like it's made up of synthetic fabric that's been kind of twisted together to create this interesting cord. So I could unravel it and use pieces of it, or I could use it like this. Yeah, I'll have to. I will keep these bits all together, and then I will slowly. What I tend to do is then turn it over for a few days in my head, and then I start on a project. So I love getting things like this. I think, well, I would never have picked that up, but now I've got it. What am I going to do with it? And then we've got a little piece of. Right, this is a bundle of threads, which looks like it's going to be shorter lengths of threads. Let's have a look. Let's take one off. I don't want to undo the whole thing if I can avoid it. So this would be really interesting for doing some embroidery. I forgot what it's called, but there's this style of embroidery that they do in India where they couch down these metallic threads. So this looks like varied lengths of threads. Yeah, see, that one's quite a long one and some are quite short, so I'll go through later and just sort them out a bit. There's one very long piece here, so this piece is really, really long. That's lovely. It's like a kind of light silvery colour. That'll look really pretty against lots of other colours. Feeling so I've had some lovely things in the post just recently and I'm feeling so inspired. Let's see, look, some of these are quite short like that. So, you know, you wouldn't thread them on a needle and try and stitch with them, but what I would do is couch those down into lovely flower shapes and things and do some of that, have a go at some of that that embroidery. That would be really fun to try. Okay, let's see if I can kind of wind that back up again. I made a complete mess of it. I'll go through it later and carefully wind it onto a bobbin. I think that's what I'll do. So that's my doodads in this one. I'm going to save the patchwork piece to look at last of all. And let's have a look at what else we've got in here. So this is a lovely piece of silk, embroidered silk, with this beautiful metallic edging here. Lovely, lovely soft apricot colour. Looks really vintage looking actually, doesn't it? Very pretty. Here's a gorgeous red piece. Oh, and that's got a lovely golden edging to it as well. So the pieces, the size of the pieces will vary a lot. You'll get some quite small pieces, some surprisingly large pieces, but don't expect big uniform kind of, you know, fat quarters or something, because that's not what this is about. Well, I don't know who put which together, but I'm loving this one so far. Lovely mixture. Lovely mix of textures and colours. Look at this. That's different again. This feels like silk also. Well, that's quite a big piece. Very fine, almost sheer. You can see my hand through that just about. There we go. It's nice to have a mix of like larger patterns and little ditzy prints like that as well. Love those colours together. It's so nice to have a better camera and lighting set up now so that I can show you these pictures. These are pieces like, you know, in the right colours, you know. I can give you you can see what colour they really are, and you can get more of an idea of the texture than with my old setup. Here's a lovely piece of the brocade, and these golden colours. You get pieces of these in most of the packs at the moment. And okay, so this isn't pink, but it's always lovely to have that little bit of that little touch of a metallic sheen, and also a bit of light relief from all the colour as well. They set off the colours really beautifully. And I always like the other side. This is obviously the wrong side, but I quite like the look of it too. So sometimes I will use the wrong side for slow stitching projects. Now here's now which way round is that meant to be? I think that's meant to be the right side, but again, I love that. Do you think that's meant to be the right side? Does it matter which is which? I love that. And I love that silveriness with the... Oh, I'm seeing a mermaid's tail. Loving that against the pinks. Here's a little embroidered piece. So these are usually machine embroidered pieces that have been patched together. So Jo was explaining in the last pack I got, the bijou bundle, which is brilliant because it gives you a little sample of lots of different kinds of things that they do. She was explaining that all of these pieces are gummed onto the background and then they stitch between. So you can see they've couched down, they take these bundles of cotton threads and couch them down between the pieces, and they're lovely to use as is. You know, you can just, if you get one of the bigger pieces, so we'll have a bigger look at the bigger piece in a minute, You can fold them to make journal covers or needle books, things like that, or you can cut the pieces apart and make little things like when I made the danglers. Again, you'll find all that in the Bazaar playlist. They're a really nice way to show off these beautiful little pieces. Yeah, so don't be afraid to snip into them and use the pieces separately. You haven't got to keep it all as one. But if you do, make sure you keep those cotton threads and do something with them as well, even if they only go in your orts jar, and get used to stuff something with. Waste not, want not. Don't waste a scrap of these. Oh, look, I haven't seen this before. Cool, look at those beautiful colours. So you've got that pink, and again it's like here we've got the pinks and the more peachy apricot-y colour, and the lovely golden yellow there. What a lovely mixture that. Oh, I love that. And then we've got this. Now this I've seen before. I've definitely had some of this fabric before. So these things will be from the garment production. They'll be leftovers from the garment production. So you can see, and sometimes it will be things that have been miscut or they've been on display and become damaged or whatever. So you'll get quirky bits like here. You've got, that was obviously, that looks like an armhole, an arm set into an armhole, doesn't it? And that would have been part of the neckline, and you've got a tear there. And I actually love when you get these oddly shaped pieces and tears and things, because it inspires my creativity. I also love prints like this for stitching into. They're perfect for that. So you can just cut small pieces out and apply them to a square or whatever. Oh, I haven't seen this either. Oh, so it looks like this was a face mask, but what a lovely print that was. So I will probably take that apart and use pieces of it, patch it into a Kawandi quilt or add it to a collage or whatever. Love the colours in that. And here's a different type of fabric again. So this would have come from a garment. This is a fine cotton jersey by the look of it, and looks like it would have been part of an arm. I would say this is going to be an arm, wasn't it? It looks like an arm shape, a very skinny arm. So that's got that stretch to it. So again, I would allow that to inspire whatever project I made. And one thing that is just popping into my head now, because I've been making dolls and things recently, I'm just wondering about making a little doll or a little stuffed kind of animal-y thing, a little cat or something like that. All these things start going through my head at this stage, and then I mull it over for a few days and see what bubbles to the surface. Cool, there's so much in here. This is again another kind of piece I haven't seen before. I wonder what this came from. So it's got this very metallic trim around the edge. It actually feels like metal, like how much. Let's see if I can get that to focus. It's trying its best. There we go. So those individual strands feel really metallic. If I kink them, they're holding their kink like it's actual wire. Looks like it was lined with this colour. So I could take this all apart here. In fact, I probably will. I'll snip that carefully, take that all apart and retrieve this trim. I love this woven. It's like a quite an open weave fabric that's been stitched into with fine wool. Really interesting. So I could take all of that apart. This would make a lovely little needle case or something. That would be really cute. Or one of those travelling. So I made these things called mini rolls, which were like a travelling sewing kit. I could do a sort of slightly bigger version of that. Yeah, that could be fun. I know this I've had before and love. I'm very happy to have some more. This is a really fine, like a cotton lawn. Obviously, again, part of a garment. It's got all these gorgeous pin tucks in it. Look at that. Lovely shade of pink, isn't it? And it really shows very well on the camera. So that would have been a nice lightweight kind of summer blouse type of thing. Love all the pin tucks. Beautiful. And this I've got quite a lot of this, or I have had quite a lot of this very fine cotton, and it's really lovely for doing pajagi work or bujagi work, which is that kind of Korean form of patchwork, which I've been doing on and off. It's lovely for that because of its sheerness and its fineness. You can see from the pin tucks there how nice it's going to look as pajagi. So I will find a use. I will find a way to make use of this piece that kind of makes the most of these gorgeous pin tucks. Here's some more pieces, different shades of pink. It was all different shades of pink that I used for the pajagi that I'm working on, so these might just get added into that. It's so lovely, and when it hangs up against the light with this, with just the seams, okay, oh, it looks so pretty. I must get around to finishing. That's another one of my whips for this year. Beautiful different shades of pink, lovely. Can't wait to get to this. Look at this, there's a lot in here, isn't there? This is a big old piece, this one. Long strip, so it looks like, was that maybe 2 sleeves? No, it's not sleeve shaped, but it's 2 pieces. That's 2 thicknesses, that size. Lovely, and it's nice that it's the same on both sides by the look of it. Perhaps slightly, yeah, this is probably the wrong side. It's slightly deeper on that side, but lovely, a lovely piece to stitch into. I'm thinking Maggie Morris would enjoy stitching into that. Back it one of the lovely pinks and stitch into it maybe. It could be backed with that. Yeah, I'll have a good old think. We're going to make some very pretty things with this. I need either Ella or Tola to come and arrange my thumbnails for me in future, please, if that's all right. And this is the almost last piece. This is beautiful too. So there's a good example of, it's in a pink kit. That isn't all pink, but that pink is quite dominant in the design, isn't it? And it's lovely to have these other colours to set it off. Again, I would really enjoy stitching into this. I would use pieces of it to collage. And with it being this long shape, I could use part of it as a backing for a journal wrap, something like that. I try to use them in such a way that it makes the most of the size and shape that I've got. So if I want a little small piece, I'm not going to necessarily, I will try to avoid cutting it from a large piece like this. I'll use a piece from one of the that's already smaller, you know. Oh, what a lovely mixture I've got there. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at all that. And then the la pièce de résistance for this pack. You always get one of these gorgeous patchwork pieces. Look at that. So each of these, what I love about it is that each of these started somewhere else, was made by someone else, has its own little story. Some of them could be quite old. We don't know where each of these has come from. The machine embroidered pieces, a lot of them will have diamantes and sequins and little jewels on them and things. Little details, I mean, look at those. Each one is so different. And the thing that pulls them together is the colours, all the different shades of pink. And then the odd pops of yellow and green there as well, and metallics. Bit of blue, bit of brown. Yeah, so it's the pink that's pulling them all together. Love this one. Like with that other little piece I showed you, they're all gummed onto a backing, and then these bundles of cotton thread are couched down in between. So you can see that this, you could easily use part of this. So say I had I wanted to make a journal cover. That would make a lovely start for a journal cover, wouldn't it? But there's no reason why I couldn't cut out individual ones. I could use this to make one of those little humbugs that I did in the Dangler series. It would redo hearts. Yeah, hearts would be nice out of some of these as well. What else do we do with hearts, bells, balls? The balls need to be more in the silks or the fine cottons. But ones that pieces like this that are a bit bigger, I would tend to use for things like needle books, things like that, or those mini rolls. So I might do a few of them with some of this, I think. God, look at this one. I've never seen these before. So each of these has got like a little piece of, it's like a metallic stuff in the middle. Love that. Love how all these pieces have been reused and turned into something beautiful in its own right. Yeah, gorgeous. So that's the pink. That is just the pink. What I'm going to do now is put this to one side and open the other one, which looks like a green pack. Oh, look at, oh, that looks lovely, doesn't it, with the metallic ribbon there. That's all been doubled up because it's quite narrow. These are lovely. These metallic ribbons are lovely for wrapping around the little birds. We've been making the little birds, little dangly birds. They're lovely for wrapping around them. Ooh. Woo! So I would say this is quite definitely a green pack. So what have we got? Oh, tassels. Fun little tassels. I need to let the crinkles come out of them. Those would be fun to use on the birds as well as their tails. And of course these tassels are another thing you can do with those cotton threads. If you did end up taking the patchwork pieces apart and you end up with those cotton threads, just fold them over and make little tassels like they've done here. They'd be lovely to add on the bottom of some of my danglers too, wouldn't they? So this is the other doodad we got in this one. So we've got another bundle of cord. So this time, what's it been made of? Yeah, again, it's this kind of stretchy synthetic fabric that's been rolled around into a tube. It's quite a large piece of it, actually, look. So you could actually unwind this and use it as the base for something. Now I'm thinking of that cat idea again now. Why do cats keep coming into my head? Yeah, or keep it as a cord. And maybe I could use that as the base for something, even if the cord was enclosed inside. And that became okay, cogs are turning. This is a beautiful little piece. Look at this little treasure. Again, cut off one of those lovely patchwork pieces. Love this teal colour cotton thread there. So even if I end up trimming that off because I'm going to make something else with this, I would keep this little tuft of thread because, you know, it would make a little bird's tail or whatever. If all else fails, it goes in my orts jar, which is here. Oop, it's getting a bit full actually, because I can use it for stuffing things like the birds and balls and bells and other danglers. Oh, this is lovely too. Yum, look at that. And when you get these layered pieces like this, you know, there's no reason why you can't take them apart and use the layers separately. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at all the beadwork on that. That must be hand done. That can't be done by machine, can it? And this here, this is all like little metal beads. Look at that. Here we've got like a similar to that pink that I showed just now, a really, really fine cotton to the point of being almost sheer. This one's got this print on it, quite a large print in this kind of tealy green colour. Would work quite well for bajagi as well. Or these fine cottons are lovely as a backing to slow stitch into as well, actually. Oh yum, look at this. Sorry for my neighbour's dogs barking. I always have a problem with these, that it's gorgeous and inspiring, but then you think, well, what am I going to do with that actual shape? I could apply it to something like a journal wrap and have it kind of come around and over, maybe make it as part of a wrap closure kind of thing. But of course there's no reason really why you can't cut it up and just use pieces of it. So those roses, so this part, you could use them if you can bring yourself to cut them up. There's no reason why you can't, but it's quite hard to do. Oh, this one's interesting. It's green but with this lovely metallic effect kind of shot through it. Oh, is that picking it up? Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's nice. So this is an example of where you do get, I think this is at least partly synthetic, but it's what I call nice synthetic because it feels nice and it's interesting. I love that. It's got, you can see the green stripes. So you've got green stripes and gold stripes. It's very subtle. Oh, this is pretty. Now I'm seeing a lot here that I've not seen before in these two bundles. Jo did say they were making up some new bundles, so yeah, obviously she's got some new scrap pack fodder in, and so I'm seeing things I've not seen before. This is lovely. It's got that vintage look again with this really nice kind of metallic-y trim. Cogs are turning. This is nice. So here's a good example of the kind of thing you might get where you've got damage like this, probably where it's been on display or whatever, and the fabric becomes fragile and sometimes tears. So like you've got this kind of edge here. But to me, this is an opportunity. and inspires me to see what I can come up with using these pieces. I'm already getting ideas for this one. Well, I've had ideas for both of them. God, look at this silk again. They look like silk, they look like sari fabric. So you've got this edge. Pretty, what a pretty kind of leaf green that is. Delish. Look at those colours together. Cool, another one. So pretty, so pretty. Silk, silk, silk again. This one's cotton. This is a cotton print, and this is a kind of quite a pale grey green. I love it. I'm itching to stitch into that one. That's just crying out for it. It's almost like when you look at a colouring book page and you want to colour it in. This is like that, but with stitching. Oh, this one's a bit different. So here's a kind of another good example of the kind of thing you'll get that you think, what on earth was this? What was it going to be? What has it come from? And what am I going to do with it? One of the things I love is that it's got these 3 layers. So you've got like this feels like a cotton, maybe cotton viscose, I don't know. It's got a lovely drape to it. This one feels, I think this one's synthetic, but again it's got a nice feel to it. And then you've got this layer of wadding as well, which would be good to use as an interlayer in slow stitching. I mean, I could just leave them together and then apply pieces to it and create a little piece. This bit here looks kind of velvety. It's like worn velvet. I want to know what the history of this piece was. So interesting. This is different again. This is quite a thickish material, lovely and soft and drapey though. It's got this kind of cool darkish blue, darkish bluish charcoal greyish colouring in there, which looks lovely with that. And then there's paler green and deeper green here. Really nice. That would end up being like a backing. It's nice for, I've had so many scrap bundles from Bazaar over the years, and I know a lot of the fabrics, but I'm seeing a lot that are new to me with these two. Oh, look how pretty is that. That's a kind of a more of a primrose yellow colour. That's the first thing I've tried to show, that the camera isn't picking up the colour very well. It's actually more yellow than it looks there. The first time I've had to say that. Very pretty. Look at all those sequins. Here's a very long strip again, isn't it? Look at that. So if I fold it in half, so it's twice that. So that's quite a good stretch, isn't it? That would do that would line a couple of journal wraps. I won't cut into them if I'm just looking for a small piece. I will try and make the most of the fact that that's quite a large piece to play with. I know I have had a piece of this before. It's really lovely to have. Oh, I haven't had one with a little fastening on before. So this is obviously from some kind of jacket, but it's quilted with this wadding, this layer of wadding. So it's lovely to use as the base, as the back for slow stitching. It's got enough body to it that you could use it to create a little vessel or something. Yeah, so that's what I might do with that. I think that'd be a really nice way to use it and make the most, probably use that as the top as well. And that would be on the inside, and I'd put pretty pieces on the outside probably. Yeah, just a thought. And finally we come to the pièce de résistance again. Oh, look at this. Oh, so different. And just each one is a little bit of inspiration. I look at the spirals inside these circular motifs there. And this with the scrolls. Gorgeous florals. I love this piece. Love that. And just a little triangle here. That must have been filling in some gap. Yeah. I've used every little bit. Love this with the squares. That's a really interesting effect. So these go downwards and these go crosswards. Love these flowers. Love this. The circles are always a sucker for the circles again. Beautiful, and again gummed onto a backing, but you can line that with something pretty, obviously, and you can make a really simple just journal wrap by folding it up. So if you fold up one edge to make that more of a kind of a book shape when you fold it like that, line it with something else, something pretty, and then you've got this pocket that you can slot you can stitch it in half if you want, that you can slot your sketchbook and things into, or make it a deeper pocket, smaller book, like that. So you imagine it like that, only done more tidily with a wraparound closure. It's a really nice, easy way of making quite a complicated looking thing, because it's already done itself, really. Yeah, so there are a lot of things I can do with that. Now, the big problem is going to be how to show any of this in a thumbnail. Oh, I don't know. Oh, this is so hard. This is so hard. I just always end up with just a pile of... Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to roll them back up in their bundles, and I'm just going to show the bundles. And then in the thumbnail, all you'll see is the wrapped up bundles. I can't choose between the two bundles as to which is the most beautiful, either by how it's arranged or by the combination of things that are inside. They are both utterly gorgeous, and I cannot wait to play with them. And the fact that they're all reclaimed and would otherwise go to waste is just the icing on the cake. I had this big plan that I wasn't going to start any more new projects until I'd finished the ones that were already on the go, but there's a few just starting to sneak in now. But as long as I will gradually throughout the course of the year, I will finish my projects. I will. It's always good to be inspired by something new as well, isn't it? I'm not going to fight it. Thank you again very much to Jo and her team for sending those to me. They're brilliant. Don't forget to use that code ArtyFartyAnnieTreat if you make an order from Bazaar. I'll put their website in the description box so you can have a look for yourself. And remember, yes, they do post outside the UK, but if you're not in the UK, you need to email them rather than just try and put an order through in the normal way. That's all I need to say for now, except to say a huge thank you as always to my wonderful channel members who will be scrolling up here as I speak. I just can't tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you. 36 and counting as I'm recording this. I'm thrilled to bits, and so is Tom. It's just really blown us away, that response, so thank you very much to all of them. And thank you as well to everybody, channel member or not, for watching the videos, leaving a like, leaving a comment. It's all really appreciated and helps the channel to grow. So you can see I can't take my eyes off. I've just opened. I sat there down the other night and went through. I've got a big basket thing that I keep my Bazaar goodies in, and I sat and went through them all the other evening just to refresh myself on what I had. And my head's been full of it ever since. So I have a couple of projects in mind that I'm going to be doing very soon with some of my Bazaar treasures, so watch out for them if you like this kind of thing. And if you do buy anything from Bazaar, I know a lot of Bazaar bundles have been going out all over the world just recently from what Jo tells me, so do keep posting your pictures in the Facebook group or the Discord community of what you got in your bundles and what you're making with them, because it's always, I just always find it fascinating to see what other people get and what they do with them. I think that's all I've got to say for now. Quite enough waffle from me. That is way too long. I'm going to have to do loads of editing there. Thanks very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye. Oh dear. Sometimes you just can't stop talking. You don't know how to actually stop. Is it just me?